But, you know, the current resident in the White House gave a... He gave a Coast Guard commencement speech yesterday and took a moment to point out the real victim in all of this. Take a look.
Look at the way I've been treated lately, especially by the media. No politician in history, and I say this with great surety, has been treated worse or more unfairly.
You know, I did want to point out that there have been a couple who have been perhaps treated more unfairly or as unfairly. Let's talk about, I don't know, Barack Obama. I make this point specifically about this man who for almost 6 years, 7 years, insisted he wasn't an American, didn't have America's best values in mind because he wasn't born here, that he was a Muslim, that, you know, all propagated by this guy. And so I figure you've been in less than, you've been in maybe, what, 120 days? And you think it's rough now? This guy went through it for 8 years and came out still a man I'm proud, whether you like what he did, I'm proud of him. I'm proud of this president.
President Lincoln had half the country secede from the Union.
Tell that to Mary Todd.
So
well, but remember, he doesn't know a lot about history, as we know.
But even George
I'm asking a lot.
Even George W. Bush. I mean, like, this is a guy who, you know, comedians made fun of him all the time. The media was tough on him. This job is not supposed to be easy. You're supposed to go in there and be challenged. You're the commander-in-chief. You have a very difficult job. You have a lot of power at your fingertips. And he thinks the media is supposed to be his friend. And what I would say, you know, Republicans can make a point about media bias. And as we know, we've had that debate at the table. And I do agree that there is a bias in media. But stop being a crybaby about it. That means you should be able to get out there, articulate your points. And guess what? If there's no scandal to find, they're not going to find a scandal. If there's nothing to find, they won't find it.
But I think that the psychology is interesting because I've noticed that people who are bullies are also victims very often. You know, you notice that? True. It's like the other side of the coin.
Yeah, it's true.
Maybe Vladimir Putin has the same personality.
And also the idea that it drives me crazy that he goes to these events where he's supposed to be paying tribute to other people and makes it about himself.
That's what it's about him.
My commencement speech is supposed to be like
inspiring
and about how you can do it.
And he's talking about his own
the
media.
money he saved
But
on
you do know
taxes.
the planes.
He's talking about the, you know, he's messed with their budget.
The Coast Guard budget.
I mean, he poops all over their budget.
Did he cut it by like 12% or more?
He's hoping they know as little as he does when he goes into these things.
This is a guy who could go. This is a guy who could go speak to military people and have no self-awareness. I mean, he just has no self-awareness of the sense that you work for us, not the other way around, but you're there to be inspirational to people. You're not there to complain and moan about the media. You look petty. Stop doing it. Just stop.
But his people who voted for him and who like him, they're okay with that. They like it. And they agree with that.
He's preaching to the choir because didn't we say just this week that 80% of Republicans still support him? And I think, you know, when he's been touting this fake news and witch hunt stuff, people are believing that. And hopefully this special counsel Mueller changes that narrative.
If people are actually living with this belief, they're doing it knowingly.
You think so?
Yes, because you can't, listen, there are things that are right here that is very clear. When you say the former president of the United States, he bugged me, he bugged my building. And to this moment, we still don't have any proof. When he says this person did that, people see that and they see that there's no proof, and so they're willingly ignorant I believe.
Well, somebody this morning said that the enthusiasm in his on his followers is going down.
And don't believe the polling. Don't believe that polling. I talk to Republicans, I talk to conservatives every day who live in frustration from this man because they want to be talking about tax policy and health care and real issues. And a lot of them voted for him in confidence that this was a businessman who was going to come in and prioritize these issues. And they're deeply, deeply disappointed in this nonsense.
Their plans for tax reform and for health care are so bad that I hope that they fail at that.
I disagree about that.
Whatever ends up happening, we're going.